Hey guys, it's been a long day, so I thought I'd just do something quickly. Get some out of my eye. Thought I'd do something quickly before I get all the bites in, shut the doors, and put my feet up for the night. So in between all the mayhem that's going on at the moment, with all the frames I'm doing and the orange Enfield we're finishing and getting ready for Dan's bike and everything, and my bike, I thought I'd do a little job which I've been messing about with late in the evening and stuff when I can't make much noise. So I thought I'd share this with you. Now, it's only a little trick I used to do with materials back in the old blacksmithing days. It was just something we used to do if we wanted to keep the colour of the metal, sort of the natural colour of the metal, and protect it from the elements from going rusty. Or you could actually seal rust in with this idea if you wish to have a rusty motorcycle. I know some of the styles that are coming out just lately with this what do you call it, what's the word, rat bike look, ghetto look and all that nonsense. But each to their own, you know. If you want your bike really rough and rusty, that's up to you. It's your bike, you do what you like with it. But on my build, as you probably know, I want to go a bit different with it. And I'll make loads of it up as I go along. I'm not one for planning stuff out because I never ever stick to the plans. So on the Enfield I'm building, I want a few sort of quirky bits on it. You know, like some of the standard parts, just change them as well, just to make them look different. But I'm going for sort of an old, I don't know how to put it. Is it going to be like an aged look? I don't know. I don't want nothing brand new looking on it, like sparkling, shiny, brand new. I know most of the builds I've done are all polished and nice chrome work and all that blah blah blah. I want this to look not aged. It's hard to explain. I don't want it all shiny and sparkly, if you know what I mean. So like the nuts and bolts on it, I would just like a natural finish on the metal and stuff like that. So one of the ideas, I've just had a mess about with it. Nothing, I'm not getting tucked into my build just yet, by the way. I just thought I'd have a mess about and share this. So over the last couple of evenings, early mornings, I've been messing about with the rear spindle on the back wheel, coming up with ideas again, even changing the looks of the spindle. I want people to look at this bike and be able to sit and look at it for ages and just constantly keep spotting bits that I've changed that are different. You know, it'd be mainly people who know Enfields will see all the differences. So yeah, even right down to nuts and bolts, if I can change the looks, I will. That's what it's all going to be about, without making it look like a complete mess. I don't know. It's going to be one of them builds where I'll just keep changing my mind and changing things. I know I will. But I'm not going down the brand new custom sparkly look. So anyway, let's shut up and get on with this. So over the last few days, I've been messing about on and off in my spare time, late at night or whatever. So I've had these things knocking about for God years. I'm terrible for saving all sorts of bits and bobs. So I've got one, cut the centre out of it. Again, just making things up as I go along. And I've put it on the rear spindle. And I've sort of pressed a bit of a brass button in the middle of it. It'll just, you know, going for something that's different. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I get that. And I've put a little grub screw in there. And I've kept the back of it sort of with that rough cast finish. So yeah, I've cut the centre out, as you can see. It was a part of that. So we've cut the centre out of it, ground the faces up a bit to tidy it up, and fixed it to the rear spindle. Now I didn't film, and I'll be totally honest, I didn't film doing this because I've done some right dodgy things in the lathe. And yeah, I'm terrible for that, and I try not to film them bits. It's one of them. If you go and share some things I do in here, it's as dodgy as hell. I shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. It's stupid. I'm stupid. That's why I do it. So yeah, you can probably imagine what I got up to in the lathe to get to that. Not a good idea, but there you go. I've done it. So what I'm going to do, I want to keep fixings on this bike sort of a natural finish. I don't want zinc plated and shiny nuts and bolts and fixings all over it. I want to try and keep sort of a dull to sort of sheeny finish, if you know what I mean. So will it look aged? I don't know. I'm struggling to explain how I want this damn bike to look. You probably get it. But anyway, a little trick we used to do in the blacksmithing days, because obviously if I leave like that, the first sign of a cloud in the sky, that's going to go red rusty. So I got myself more there. Big block of beeswax. I've gone through tons of this stuff over the 25 years of blacksmithing. One of the reasons why I went through tons of this, the dogs I used to have at the time, 2 boxers, used to pinch it and eat it. So I'm keeping this away from Blue because I think he'll do the same. It must, let's put that over there. It must taste nice to the dog. I love the smell of it anyway. So let's get a glove on. Real simple. Again, I'm going to do brass parts on this bike. Not crazy over the top so it looks like a damn steam engine. Just the odd bit here and there. That's why I've been set a little bit in there. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have the brass polished or just sort of scrubbed finish. I'll decide that as I go along and probably change my mind. So anyway, as I want to keep it all sort of a natural metal finish with no bright zinc, no chrome. I say we used to do this on certain decorative items that we wanted to keep the natural finish but not to have it go rusty. The difference is I haven't got a forge to do it in. We're doing it with a gas torch. Mind you, it hasn't got to be that hot to start melting the beeswax on there. This beeswax, I just got it off eBay. And a little wire brush to scrub it in. I've been trying to search apart some like demonstration pieces I had when I was blacksmithing, like leaf work and little scrolls and stuff like that, that have been knocking around for over 20 years that I beeswaxed probably 1990 thereabouts, and they still haven't gone rusty. So that gives you an idea how good this process actually is. It might seem basic, simple and stupid, but it actually works. And like I say, if you guys do this rat lock or whatever but don't want it to go mega rusty, this might be an idea you can use. Or You can call me a stupid idiot, that's pathetic, and not use it. It's up to you. I'm not telling anybody to use it, I'm just showing you what I do. And I'm getting carried away and doing that too much, look. I'm making it go blue. I don't want it blue. I just want it coloured. So basically, rub the beeswax on it. And this stuff sticks. When it's on, if you want to remove it, you're going to have to heat it up and heat it up and heat it up and keep washing it, because this stuff goes on and it wants to stay on. And I don't, you wouldn't be coating engine parts in it, because obviously the heat of the engine is going to be way past the melting point of this stuff. It'd be just like brackets around the bike, but obviously not on the engine. Oh, this does set on fire. It's like a, you know, you've seen the old chip pans go up. This is far worse than that. I think the flash point's about 400 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that, and it goes. But it's certainly not going on any parts on the bike that's going to create a danger. And then all you do is sort of work it in with a brush. What I'll do as well while we've at this, I'll do a little sample piece and we'll shove it outside, because we've got rain for days, and I've got a bit of tube and I've Scotch-Brite it so it's really raw. I'm going to beeswax half of that, throw it outside, and that'll give you an idea how good it actually is. Like I say, it might seem stupid to you, but it's a great way of getting a bit of an aged look. Is it patina? Is patina the word? You don't want brand new shiny bits all over your bike. And the good thing with this, it's actually really easy to keep clean. When it's gone off and cold, you can just buff it with a rag, and you do get a bit of a sheen to it, but it's bright metal that I don't want on this build. If you get a proper brass bristled brush as well, it actually puts a brass sheen into the surface, which is quite nice to mess about with as well. But I'm telling you, this won't go rusty again. It is a brilliant way of sealing it up. We'll wait for that to go cold. I mean, I could put the brass on the mop and polish that back up, but I don't think I want bright brass on it either. I want to be able to see that it's brass, but not bright. Yeah, it looks 100 years old. But not rusty. Do you know how the metalwork goes on some like really old machines and engines and stuff like that, where it's been in constant use? You can sort of get that finish. So what I'll do now, we'll eat the sample bit up, half of it, and we'll throw this outside. And if that goes rusty, I'll do my next video naked and scare you all off. Lose all the subscribers. Scare you all to death. Like I say, it has got a flash point, but so's the oil that leaks out your engine, so's the petrol around your engine, so's the plastics and paintwork and wires. So, you know, don't get worried that it's going to ignite itself. No different to half the materials on your bike. Oh, there's a bit on there, you have to, while it's in like really thin on surfaces, it just won't ignite. See? So you haven't got nothing to worry about like that. It'll only ignite if I actually heated the block up like that. Right, let's get, I'll face it down so I only get half of it. That'll do. I'll just leave that there, and when that cools we'll shove it outside. So I'll let that go cold, then we'll just get a rubware rag, and throughout the bike this is the look I'm going to go for on a lot of the metalwork. Stuff like this that I've made, different brackets, probably like headlight brackets, just a scattering of things that I don't want in like with a bright finish, chrome or zinc or anything like that. Who knows, maybe I'll do a lot of bare metal on there and do this to it, because it's been a long time since I've done this. Obviously, back in the old blacksmithing days, we was doing it all the time, because it's such a great way of sealing stuff up and keeping that aged look. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up doing the whole damn frame like it and stuff like that. I don't know. And it'd be stuff like the gear change, the kickstart, probably the foot pegs. Just I say, I'll make it up as we go along. I want it to look like it's an old vintage bike that's just been looked after. I'm not making a rat bike or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a fan of that sort of stuff. But if you are, it's a great way of sealing some of the bits up, because I know some people like that rust finish. This will seal it and stop it continuing. So, like I say, it's just an idea I'm sharing. I'm not telling anybody you must do this. It's they're not how-to videos. I'm just sharing what I do. But we'll let that go cold. But you can start to see the sort of finish it gives, and gives it a nice aged look. I'll tell you what, we'll try the light on, light off thing with the camera. I don't know how well this is going to turn out on film, but we'll see. That heat's travelling down that spindle nicely, starting to burn. Anyway, we'll let that go cold. Obviously we don't want to dip it in water or anything like that. We don't want to compromise what I've just done. Let it go cold naturally, and then we'll come back and give it a rubware cloth. And I think it's going to be quite hard to see, obviously, see it like I'm seeing it, but it might give you an idea. Right, let's let it go cold, and we'll be back to give it a buff up with a cloth. Right, there we go, that's cooled off a bit. give it a bit of an age look and protected it so we ain't gonna go rusty. So it's like I say, it's just a bit of a different style that I'm gonna try and achieve on my build. So there'll be no sort of brand new nuts, bolts, brackets everywhere that are zinc plated or stainless or anything like that. I'm trying to get some nice finishes on bare metal. So we'll also see where Dan wants to go with his bike with all the fixings and stuff like that, whether he wants me to spend a few hours waxing his nuts. We will see. Well, there we go. That's come up quite well. I think it's nice. I like it. I'm gonna like it, you know. I'm doing it for myself. Can we see that? Let's try it with the light off. And obviously, so it looks like in the frame. Be easy for me to lift this to the camera. It'll be a bit different, won't it? It does look like a tap. Gas tap or water tap or something, but it's different. Maybe that little trick will help somebody, or you know, or any future builds that you might do, or something that ain't even motorcycle related that you could use it on. It's easy to do, it's dirt cheap for a block of beeswax, and all it takes is a bit of heat from your gas torch, a wire brush, job done. I know fixings, you know, especially as you're going stainless, can be horrific money by the time you've gone through the whole bike. It can be horrific money. So, you know, if you want that age look, maybe that's just an idea. Anyway, that'll do. It's getting late. My day's over with. I'm going to put my feet up. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.